Hi there, I'm Hao, and it is just another video of me solving random numerical problem. We have offstring difference today. It's an easy problem, but I personally find it pretty confusing. So let's get started. So we are given an array of word, right? And each word's gonna have a key or like an array of difference. So for example, this string right here, or let's say this string, this string, ADC, right? And then each letter gonna have like an ASCII value from 0 to 25, for example, right? Uh, and we only care about the difference, right? So we have to find the difference between the second and the first word, right? Which is D and A, right? Let's say D has value 3, A has value 0. So the difference gonna be 3 minus 0 is 3, right? We need to find the difference of D and C. So C minus D, C and D. C has value A, B, C, right? So 0, 1, 2. So 2 minus 3, right? Is 3. 2 minus 3 is negative 1, right? Something like this, right? And we will find the same difference for the next one, the next word, right? And that for the last word, they have a difference, right? B is one letter away from A, right? So difference will be 1. C is one letter away from B, so the difference is 1, 1, right? So they want us to return the word, a string word, um, that have a difference in the integer array, right? So for example, this word array have three difference, right? Because it has three words. And in those three difference, the last word have a difference compared to the other two. So that's why we have to return ABC in this case, right? So we can so we have to keep track of the difference, right? Um, let's say it is 3 and minus 1, right? 3 and minus 1. So as soon as on the third word, as soon as we found a difference that have the count 1, then we just return it, right? We just return a word with a different um quantity of 1, right? So let's say, for example, we found the difference of 1 and 1 when we get to this word ABC, right? And we're gonna check our hash map, for example, and the count of this 1, 1 difference is has appeared for the first time, right? Which means this word have a difference, right? Or in this case, right? When we get to the third word, right, which is C, so it is the difference here is 0 and 0, 0, 0. This one is 13 and minus 13, right? Right. When we get to starting from the third word, right? Um, and we notice that the different 0, 0, when we look at the current word CCC, right? The different 0, 0, has already appeared one time, right? And it is the second occurrence. 0, it is the second occurrence, right? So in this case, we can also check the first word and the second word, right? If the first word have the occurrence of 1, we will return the first word, right? In this case, no, the first word is 0, 0, right? And the occurrence is also 2. But for the second word, the occurrence is only 1, right? So we will return the second word, right? So we only need to keep track of the first word and the second word, and also the count of each different, right? So in other words, like the common sense is that to figure out the difference, we need at least like three elements, right? We need at least three different to know which one is the majority, which one is the difference, right? Right, and we know that the word will always be at least three. We will always have at least three words. Yeah. Okay, so that is pretty straightforward. So let's just code this up. So we're gonna have a counter. Right? This counter is gonna be the counter. This counter gonna count the quantity of the difference. Right? So we have to keep track of the first word, right? The second word, right? And of course, the first word and the second word gonna have the key, right? The key is gonna be like the difference. In this case, it is an array of 3 and -1, but because we are using a hash map, right? When we put it inside a hash map, we need to convert it into a string anyway. So I will use a string as a key here, right? So we can call this first word key, right? And then second word key. Just okay. And then we need to iterate over the word array. Okay. And then for each word, we need to iterate over each letter, right, to calculate the difference. And we had to start from 0 here, and we will stop one word before, right, because we only take the next word -1, right, to find the difference. J plus plus. Okay. So where's our key? So let's define our key right here, and we can reset it later. So this is our key, right? So every time we finish calculating the key, we had to reset it back to an empty string, right? So here, key plus equal, I want to push the comma in the front. Doesn't really matter here, but it's gonna be words of I, right? Which is this word, and then we're gonna take the next letter, which is J plus 1, minus the current letter, which is J, right? And then we cannot minus 2 letter. We only care about the different, right? So we're gonna use the charcode at to look at the ASCII value stuff, right? Even though the ASCII value have a different starting value for the letter A uh, compared to the example here, but it doesn't matter. The only thing we care about is the difference between A and B, C and A, right? So the difference between the next word, J plus 1, minus the current word, the current letter, right? Okay. So to make sure, let's console log the key to see if we got the correct key. Okay, what's wrong here? Undefined reading charcode at. So I have words. Oh yeah, this would be words of I, right? We are looking at the word length itself. Okay. Yeah, so this is gonna be our key, right? If you look in this example right here, well, they all it is an array, right? But yeah, it is just a string instead. Right, so same thing. So now we have the key. We need to put it into the counter, right? We need to count the occurrence of the key equal to the counter key plus 1, or if it is a p for the first term, right? It's gonna return undefined. Undefined plus 1 gonna be not a number. So in that case, we're gonna put 1 to the counter, right? And we're gonna keep track of the first and the second word, as I said earlier, right? So if it is the first word, we just set the first word equal to word uh words of I, right? Yeah. Oops. Words of I, first word key equal to key, right? And then same thing over here, except it's gonna be second instead. Okay. So the third case is when I is greater than one, right? So we're starting from start from zero, right? Zero, one, and if it is greater than one, it is two. So if I is equal to two, what does it mean? This means that we have more than uh or equal to three words. If this is the case, then which means we found we found the uh if it is more than three words, right? Which means we are ready to look for the word with a difference, right? Because we cannot find the difference if we have less than three words, right? If we have at least three words, which means we are ready to look for a word with a difference. Okay. So what if the counter of key is equal to one, we will return the words directly, right? So like in this case, right? The first two words have the same difference, right? Which means if the first two words have the same difference, so whenever starting from the third, whenever we see a key with a that appear for the first time, which means that word gonna be a difference, right? Or in other case, if the character of the first word key, right, is equal to one, we will return the first word, right? If the character of the second word key is equal to one, we will return the second word, right? So that is in this second example right here, right? The difference here is 0, 0, right? We are ready to look for the difference for starting from the third word, and uh this difference already appear, right? So this is second occurrence, right? So we check the first word, which is have the zero difference, right? We also have two occurrence, but for the second word, it's only have one occurrence, which is 13, negative 13 here. So we just return the second word directly. And that's it. Work. Thank you for watching.